Welcome back to the Oberlin Executive Speaker Series. This series is dedicated to the Oberlin College community on how we can inspire you to make the world better. This platform is hosted by my podcast, Twist of Fate, a small business podcast, and in support with the entrepreneurship department of Oberlin College. Today's theme is related to a special topic that is going on in my class, Business 118, of exploring the blockchain. This is part of a three-episode module or three-class module where we are focused on rising trends in AI, also investment opportunities in crypto and NFT, and then the last one will be crowdfunding. So it's a real interesting thing for a lot of you to learn the skills necessary to either invest in new opportunities, to create businesses that are in alignment with these key trends that are happening out there, and lastly, to network and interact with individuals in the sector. Hence the topic of today, who's my one special friend, former student of mine, actually, and a big angel investor in Silicon Valley. Simon, my friend, welcome to the Oberlin Executive Speaker Series.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the warm introductions, Doug. And hi. Yeah, so I've been a lot of positions after my graduations, and actually I'm coming from I come from Hong Kong. If anyone knows where it is, and I think the history of
this, Simon, I know where it is, and I know the dim sum is phenomenal in Hong Kong.
So oh, yes. You
have a phenomenal culture that you're from, my friend.
Yes, so I come here as a foreign student, like many other people, and then I get jobs as an auditor in Arthur Andersen's. So it's a it's a yeah,
powerful,
well known on the other side, CPA firms, and then I've been various finance positions. Most recently is as a controller in a company called Quarks Pharmaceuticals. So I have some experience in semiconductor and pharmaceutical industries, and also I'm a very curious person. So I keep up the learning. Besides taking the MBA class under Doug, I also learn a lot about technologies, especially programming. So I'm pretty okay with cryptos and also the latest trend of AI.
What's interesting, I always give a shout out to my 118ers, but this is actually a 697er. So this one actually, I taught a graduate school class at Cal State East Bay. This was in 2023, spring 2023.
Just last year.
Just last year. And what's fascinating, I think, about investing, I don't know if Simon, you remember this, but I did a class about issues on the blockchain, and I talked about Bitcoin. And I went back and looked that the dollar value of Bitcoin in that class was about $30,000, which you can imagine 1 year later, Bitcoin's almost $80,000. So technically, this is why I wanted to queue up and start this discussion that investments can change your life. I mean, like a lot of people will blow me off and not listen to me, but hey, that would have been a $50,000 gain a year ago. So I would love to talk first, Simon, as you have a lot of financial skills, financial prowess. You participate in many angel opportunities in the Bay. So could we talk a little bit more about what is an angel investor? What is it that you look for in investments? And, kind of what are the causes that you're looking to invest in?
Yeah, most definitely. So I'm sure some of you have heard about angel investing. Okay, So what's the difference between angel and VC, venture capitalist? Is angel investing tend to be very early stage. It's like more like a seed round, very beginning, like kind of like a back of the envelope idea. I get an idea of creating, for example, Oberlin crypto exchange, okay, that I want to pitch. And angel investor will be pretty much the first in line to give you, for example, $50,000, $100,000 for you to invest. And what we did differently than a VC is we do not have, we tend to not give too much advices to how you operate or how you create this venture. We just give you the money, and then hopefully a couple of years from then, we'll get a return after you go IPO or after you sell out to a M&A to a bigger companies. So that's how we get the return. So the main difference is we don't interfere with your decision making.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think what's important for many of my students to understand is as you take on investors, you're going to be giving equity, or in other words, ownership of your opportunity to certain individuals. This can be a good or a bad thing. I've worked in many startups that you even see situations of kind of like bipolar decision making, where a founder or a leader wants to go left, but then the investors want him to go right. And I think what Simon is bringing up, which is really important, that an angel investor can give you more freedom or latitude of decision making. And that's really important early on, because you want to kind of retain a lot of your creative energy and a lot of your creative insights. Now, Simon, I see you put in the chat Bay Angels. Is that your angel group that you participate in?
Yes, I am I'm the deal committee members of this Bay Angels group, so you could check it out and see what our activities is or are, and some of the success stories. It is created by one of our alumni in California State U, East Bay, almost 40 years ago. So it's a very has a lot of history, a lot of success stories, and please come and check it out. And in case you are interested in create your own company, come talk to us. We may be able to help.
Yeah, and let me be clear with a lot of you, angels are harder to find, numerically speaking. Like if you're looking at the different investors that are out there, there's private equity, venture capital, angels. There's not so many, in my opinion, angel groups versus VCs. So it's special to find one. I also can confirm, in addition to Bay Angels that Simon participates in, there is an Oberlin group of angels that make investments in different things. So definitely, as he mentioned, keyword alumni, a lot of colleges have investor communities in the alumni groups. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, Simon, if we could talk a little bit more, what are the type of investment opportunities as an angel or Bay Angels do you seek out? Like, is it more healthcare? Is it more, like you had mentioned, semiconductors? Is there certain industries or certain technologies or certain people, or like what's your area of focus for your investments?
Now, since we are in the Bay Area, so most of our focus for the last 30 years is more tech oriented. A lot of software company, a lot of hardware company. You can see the technology ecosystems evolved from computer to software, and then to cloud services. But lately, for the last 10 years, we tend to look into more areas. Like I'm not sure if you know that there is besides Silicon Valley, there is a biotech valley very close to San Francisco Airport. So just maybe a couple miles from the San Francisco Airport.
Near the Genentech campus. You mean like
Yes,
South
yes.
Francisco? Yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of big names or big and small names, biotech and pharmaceutical companies in the Bay Area. So biotech and tech industry and software and even hardware is what we are looking into as well in terms of investment opportunities.
Another question I have is, especially with biotech and, a lot of drug delivery or targeted precision medicine has a big risk component to it.
Yes.
I'd say even more so at the pre-seed level earlier on. So how do you as an angel think about risk? Like, is this, do you look at a portfolio perspective? You make enough investments in an area that you feel it's covered? Is it you never overexpose yourself? Like, how do you handle risk as an angel?
Now, tell you the truth, we are just starting with biotech technologies. At this point of time, we may not have too much expertise because a lot of them really need a specific educations. For example, you're very good at chemistry or very good at biochemistry type of subjects in order to know what kind of drugs or what kind of new therapeutic solutions that a pharmaceutical company is offering. But instead of pure pharmaceutical companies, we're looking into digital solutions. For example, diagnostic companies, or for example, health record systems related. So we tend to be kind of like a bridge between digital world and the pharmaceutical world as well. And of course, lately, for the last couple half year, a lot of AI oriented discovery. So they're using the generative AI power to discover possible drugs or compounds for various disease or indications. So we're constantly looking into that as well.
Yeah,
So
that's. I think I'm glad you brought up a good example of AI gone right, because I know you took my class before, so I gave a lot of examples in their AI class of AI gone wrong, like the deep fake Tom Cruise or the deep fake it was Morgan Freeman, right? Yeah. So you remember this stuff, right? You remember this stuff.
Yeah. Wait, how many of you believe AI will take over the world? See, nobody really believes that, right? Yeah, I don't too. I don't. Okay. I'm a truly believer of AI has to be run or administered by humans in the background.
Sure.
Meaning, if you give AI pure or 100% control, the program or the network will just be in a standstill state, because to be or not to be is 50-50. They don't know what to do. So they will constantly in this infinitive loop to think to be or not to be, until someone, human, tell them, because I have my own hidden agendas. I want to go this. I want to go to be. Okay, 51%. Okay, the AI will follow.
Yeah.
But AI, I think the Terminator scenario is very far from us.
So this class stirred everybody up. No surprise, Simon. You remember when I did it with you guys, I really stirred you guys up, called them AI discriminators and all this stuff. So the truth is, that someone did bring up, like, Doug, you're a big Matrix fan, you're a big Terminator fan. How could you not think that AI is this way? And the comment I made is that you have to understand that the fight or flight impulse is very much a human thing. The AI does not baseline have a fight or flight instinct. And I think these instincts is why we don't trust people and so forth. But let's say this, AI suffers the same problem as blockchain crypto, in that there is some level of mistrust from even an investment standpoint for AI, but then also crypto and blockchain. So maybe we could talk a little bit about that. I mean, you have a lot of financial prowess from your corporate life. And as an angel, you want to make the world better. And you see beyond, obviously, politicization. That's clearly why you see the potential in AI. Why do you think that crypto and blockchain has such like a negative perception among some people?
Now, I'm sure, okay, first of all, I'm sure everyone is well versed in crypto, right? Everyone knows what a public ledger is. No, you don't?
Maybe
Okay.
you want to start from the beginning. Let's
Okay.
jump into cryptocurrency. This is going to get interesting.
All right. Crypto is very simple, okay? They just have a whole bunch of, like, for example, million computers. Every one of them register a ledger. You know what's a ledger, right? Accounting ledger.
No, I don't.
Okay, today, April 9th, Simon
Book of transactions.
purchased 1 Bitcoin in one record. That's it. That is the ledger. Okay, tomorrow, April 10th, Simon sold half Bitcoin to Doug, another entry. So accumulation of these entries is a ledger. Got it? Simple enough? Okay, so a million computers simultaneously recording these ledgers, this history of transactions. That is crypto.
Correct.
Okay, so also one more thing is what they are recording is instead of also buy and sell, I buy one or sell one. If I could hack the ledger, hack their cache, so that after I could be able to hack the secret code, they reward me a cryptocurrencies. Okay, so that is the reward. So that's what they call mining. Okay, so that's how I use my effort on my PG&E or my power bill to hack the hack their secret code in order to get a reward of the Bitcoin. So that is the mining. That's the reward. That's the reason why. And otherwise, why do I want to waste my time and money to hack your system? Okay, because I will get the reward. So way back in 2010, 2013, nobody cares. Okay, you could pay a pizza for 30 Bitcoins. Okay, that's how much is unworth. Okay, so nobody cares until, of course, now.
Bitcoin's now worth $80,000 a coin.
Yeah, pretty much. So today's, I mean, in this morning, it's like $71,000. Okay, per coin. All right. So there's a lot of bells and whistles, the limiting things and whatever. Now, the most recent development, why the Bitcoin values come back up from 30,000 to 71,000, is they are what they call halving, meaning they limit the amount of available Bitcoin cut in half. So demand supply, you reduce the supply, the demand doesn't change, the price goes up.
Goes up.
Okay, that's the intrinsic design of Bitcoin from whatever this guy Nakayama, whatever. Okay. So that's the reason why the Bitcoin goes up recently, because every 4 years they have what they call halving, reduce the total availability of the coin. So supply reduce, demand unchanged, price goes up. So after the halving, will the price go down? Very likely. Okay, that's why you see in 2020 it goes up to $64,000 or $63,000, and then comes back down to 15,000. Okay, because after the halving is complete, there's no stories to trade. Okay.
Yeah. So
All
then I
right.
think one takeaway that all of you need to also understand about crypto, something that makes it special. You see, crypto is not backed by a bank. It's not backed even by a country. So in some ways, some view that as like it's a democratization of transactions. It's kind of more pure. It can't be corrupted. But what you'll learn through dark web and other things, 100%, there are problems with something being not backed by a bank or not backed by certain transactions. But I'm really glad that Simon brought up this impact of data mining. It is energy intensive. It requires a lot of computer power. But if you can get a crypto Bitcoin for free, yeah, now you see why there are some people that data mined like crazy, and a lot of them are like out of their day jobs. And I have a personal example of this, Simon. Actually, my office is the students know I fly in from San Francisco every week. And there's a gentleman that works in the common area of WeWork, which is a social share space. He is actually the majority shareholder of Death Row Records, if you were into 90s hip hop, like Tupac and like these people. How did he do that? Because all he did was data mine, has all this money in crypto, and now he even collaborates with Snoop Dogg to make NFTs. And this is a normal guy. Like when you look at him, he is not a gangster rapper in any way, shape, or form. But that's the power of investing. And I want to go there, Simon, and talk about this. That some common themes I've heard from you are, even if there's risk, even if there's a lack of understanding, when you invest over time, it can yield life-changing results. Correct?
Yes. I'm sure everyone learned about compound interest, right? In math 100. Okay. When you when you put $100 in the bank, if it's compound annually, compound interest, like 4%. Next year is 104. Next year is 104, 104.5, and so on and so forth. So it accumulates. So I highly encourage, well, not just highly, I told my kids, and we started for them to invest earlier. Okay, either put it in a savings bank, a certain percentage, 1%, 5%, or you could simply buy SPY, the ETF for S&P 500. If you look at the histories, it constantly goes up, S&P 500. Okay, so invest as much as you could from your early age. Put aside 10% of your income. Constantly put it in either crypto or S&P 500, and you won't be regretted. Just start early.
So I have to make sure that all of you in this room truly understand the gift that Simon's given you now. The path to multi-generational wealth, time for all of you is your greatest asset right now. It doesn't, like I've heard people say it, Doug, I don't have enough money to invest. Wrong. They'll say, Doug, I don't have enough money for a Bitcoin. Wrong. His point is ETF is exchange traded funds. That means you can buy commodities of all kinds of things at fractional shares that you can participate. You can buy fractional or stocks that are exposed to Bitcoin and grow with whatever dollar you have. But the truth be told, this is just like the lottery. If you don't buy a ticket, you can't win the game, period. So, I think please invest now. A strong recommendation I have is, if before you start using your real money, you can create wish lists through like any of the E-Trade or Ameritrade or any of the accounts where you can put in like fund money. Like, okay, if I invested $1,000 or $100,000, and you could pick out stocks and see how it trends and see whether you win or lose. I don't know, Simon, do you do any of this type of simulation type of things? When you thought about investing in an area, do you try some things out?
Yes, for now, actually, for my kids' account, I put some in a SPY ETFs constantly, and then I put some in a just purely saving account. It used to be 0.5% each year, and now it's getting better, 4%. So you want to allocate, for example, I can only invest 10% of my money, okay? So $5 for an ETF, some type of ETF, and 5% in 50% in pure savings accounts, okay? By the rules, okay, this is my contact in LinkedIn. By the rules of 72, you could check it out, okay? Compound interest value will increase, goes through times, okay? Depends on the percentage rate. So you will never go wrong to start saving early in your life, okay? And make sure you max out your 401k plan as well if you have one from your job, and because those are free money from your employer, from the employers, you would want to take advantage of that. Okay, don't miss out.
We already have a question, Simon. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Understand the point of investing early. The one thing I don't understand that I'm like slightly concerned about is investing in cryptocurrency. So I know there's a bunch of risk in that. So I know you've been saying it, you like encourage it. So I'm just curious about your thoughts on that, because I've heard some because people that tell me
Horror stories.
Yeah, horrors, exactly, yeah. So I'm curious on your thoughts about specifically crypto.
Now the ETF, SEC just approved crypto ETF 2 months ago. Okay, it is not a seal of approval. Okay, because they have put it in the crypto exchange is pretty much pushing SEC very hard. Okay, so they have to approve it. Cryptocurrencies has risk, very high risk. Okay, you could see from the histories, just most recently, 2020. Okay, going all the way up to 60,000 and then coming back down in 15,000. Okay, because that's what I said. After the halving, there's no more story to trade. Okay, so no more story to trade, it will go back down. Will it happen again? Yes. Okay, but you want to invest in a time investing method, meaning for if you have a very long time frame of investing, you want to invest in a timely manner. For example, every quarter I invest $500 into crypto constantly. So you're averaging out your cost of investment. Crypto will go ups and downs. Okay, it's very risky. So don't put a lot of your eggs in this basket. No. Okay, 5%, 10% is max. Okay, but it really goes ups and down. For a long time, I'm assuming you're like 20 years old. Okay, so we're talking about 60 years at least. Okay, everyone dies after 80 years old in this room. Okay, everyone has a lifespan at least 85.
Until
Okay?
AI gives us a pill, Simon, and then we'll live forever.
No. It's just it's got to be that way. Okay, 80. Everyone will live over 80 years old. That's for sure. So that means we're talking about the next 60 years.
Okay.
Okay, we're talking about the next 60 years. Okay, the crypto will constantly, gradually ups and downs, but it will go up because of the halving, the availability. Okay, the supply will constantly reduce. Okay, so don't put a lot of your eggs. 5% is max, right? Of your eggs.
Yeah, I agree. And you should know this. So a lot of people wonder, and they say, Doug, you're a great entrepreneur. And how is it that your company has thrived at a time where, the markets have been going way down, like since COVID? And one of the things you guys don't know about me is my father is a financial planner. So when I went to college, I already knew what TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian was. And one of the things that he mentioned on this topic that you're talking about right now is investing is actually more simple than people make it out to be. There's a universal rule, right? Buy low, sell high. Okay, that's one. The second one is an important one, is the D word, diversification. You can never overexpose yourself to one single thing, okay? And the really important thing, again, Simon's given you a gift that other classmates will not know. Listen, they don't teach financial literacy so well at university because they all want us to run on that treadmill of debt. This is real talk now. What I'm telling you here is this dollar cost averaging he's talking about. With your youth, you'll win the day. You're going to win the day because whether the crypto, whether AI companies, whether the S&P, whether NASDAQ, whether ETF, all of these things go up and down. As long as you buy a little over time. Look, the S&P averages 12% return. It means as time goes on, it's going to keep going up. Your savings reserves will keep going up. And then when things get hard, you have access to capital as opposed to feeling the pain. This is not Vegas where, you know, in the roulette, you're betting on black or red. That's not a sound investment strategy. You have to dollar cost average over time. You have to have youth behind you, and you just have to play the game. You'll never know. Sometimes you'll lose, sometimes you win, but in the end, you'll do well. Simon,
yes, the latest gadgets, latest iPhone, whatever, going to the party or going to I'm a Swifter, going to a Swift party or concert is very nice, but before you make a decision or make a purchase, make sure you save at least 10% of what you earn or what your parents give you and put it aside in a savings account or put it in S&P 500. Seriously.
you'll never go broke. You'll never go broke.
Seriously consider that, okay?
So Simon, let's talk a little bit more about, for example, when you look at a good ROI or return on investment, as an angel investor, what's the type of return that an angel wants? Because you should know, next week there will be a venture capitalist here. So his perspective is going to be totally different than yours on, as you mentioned, control, equity, timing, and ROI. So what do you think what's a good return on investment for an angel?
For angel investing, I'm looking at least 5 times over 3 to 5 years. Okay, so that means if I invest $1 right now, within 3 to 5 years, I expect $5 of return, because the failure rate of startup is just too high. Okay, the fail rate is like pretty much like a roulette, 1 over 27th. Okay, so 1 out of 27th company will succeed. The rest will be history. Okay, so that is the kind of the rule of thumb, but of course it highly depends on the industries and depends on the condition as well, because everyone knows the interest rate right now is 5.25 to 5.5%. Is very high. So
Awful.
A lot of the in the investment communities, a lot of them are leveraged, so they borrow money to invest. So that is a higher cost to them. And we are seeing,
it used to be though. It didn't used to be.
yeah, we are seeing a lot of private equity PE firms are in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me see if everybody understands. So he's talking about, so basically the Fed Reserve Bank did a big move 2 years ago. And I think you're all aware of, they increased the interest rate across the board. Are you all familiar with that? Okay. You see, the issue, it used to be, back in 2008, we had a subprime crisis related to the housing market. And it led to a new philosophy called quantitative easing. It meant that in theory, the Fed used its only tool to enhance the US economy, which was to make interest rates go all the way down to zero. The result of that meant that borrowing or loans were almost free. And what he's talking about these private equity investors, you see a lot of them and a lot of people like us built up our credit cards, built up all our loans, built up all our debt because it was cheap and free. But what's happened in the last 2 years, it's called quantitative tightening. Now they're increasing the interest rates because it let the side effect of quantitative easing or lowering the interest rates is inflation. Inflation means the dollar cost of everything goes up. Milk costs more, egg costs more, everything costs more. That's bad because it means whatever money you have is actually worth less. So inflation is the big fear of a lot of investors, is that I grow all this money, but then now the money's not worth as much.
Wait,
So
how many of you still think the inflation rate will go down to 2%? I don't. Okay. How many of you will think the inflation will go down to 2%? No, no way, right? I would think between 3 to 4 is 3% to 4% is a reasonable range going forward. But 2%, there's no way. One of the reasons is China is not back online, meaning we're not buying as much from China. Okay, so again, demand supply. Supply goes down, demand unchanged, price goes up. Okay?
Yep.
So 2% really unachievable. But 3 to 4 range is reasonable.
Let me tell you what this means. A lot of you are graduating, going into an economy that you're wondering, why is getting a job so hard? Why isn't there more opportunities? It's quite simple, the math we're talking about here. Basically, because, as he mentioned, inflation has not gone down to 2%. It's actually 4%, which means things cost a lot. But interest rates are still through the roof. So businesses are saying, I'm losing, my value of my dollar is not as good. Businesses are saying, not only that, my interest rates on my debt is high. So what are they doing? They're cutting their labor costs. And this is why it's kind of this toxic, difficult time in America. We want to make sure you guys understand all of this stuff is related to investing, all of it. Like financial literacy, financial knowledge. I'm telling you guys, it's the only path to multi-generational wealth. It's the only thing that is not taught readily. Not everybody knows this stuff. Simon, let me ask you this, my friend. With you being a multinational and coming to America and going to college, on a personal note, I'd love to hear more also, like, was there adversity you faced, not just as an investor, but in corporations? And, I have a lot of international students, and I think they could empathize with the more human journey that you've been through as well.
Well, I'm not American-born citizens. Okay, so obviously I have my accent, my English command is not as good. It's not mastering, okay, or like a natively born Americans. I won't say it's adversary. So there is a difference. Okay, there's a difference between American-born people or non-English mother tongue immigrants, which is fine. I mean, as long as your perspective don't see it as an adversary, fine. Okay, we are global citizens. We are global citizens. That's why I tell my kids, we're global citizens now. The globalization will never go back. Okay, yes, we have a conflict between Russia or China or whatever tensions, but we are global. Okay, giving the work from home as a norm, maybe 30% of the workforce. Basically, you could work anywhere in the world, okay, as long as the time zone allow. Okay, so you will face adversaries, any race, anytime, anywhere, but just change your perspective. you got to adjust your perspective to look at things seriously, to make life more reasonable, more cheerful. Okay, and always be curious. Okay, always be curious. Always curious about things. How does crypto work? How does vaccine work? How does COVID vaccine works? Okay, do you know that? If you don't, look it up. Why we don't know that? Okay, just being curious. Okay, does it has to be a certain major? What is the best major to get a job? Liberal arts is coming back. Why? Why? Look at AI. You tell AI, okay, could you please we will revise this essay of mine, blah blah blah. These are instructions, but these are literal instructions. Okay, that's what they call prompt. This is the prompt. Have you anyone heard about that? Okay, the prompt to an AI model. Have you heard about prompt engineer?
No.
Prompt engineer is,
Career path.
huh?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Prompt engineers is the engineers that could write a good prompt to do something. For example, to give you a program. So instead of writing a program, you write a prompt for the AI to write a program for you. Okay, a prompt engineer could command over $40,000 salary. Okay, easily, because nobody knows it yet. Okay,
Right.
there's a demand, no supply. Okay, price goes up. Just that simple. Okay. So prompt engineer is just writing prompts. Okay, writing instructions, literal instructions. Right? So that is liberal arts. That's English. That's what you learn in college. Everything you learn is just two things: English, math, and everything else is a variation of that. Okay. So the best major, in my opinion, language. Okay. Language, math, or statistics. This is it. Okay. Any major is fine. You could talk to my kids. Okay. I did not ask them, oh, you have to be a business major, or you have to be an engineer, or you have to be a programmer, or you have to be a doctor, MD. No, any major is fine. Any major is fine. Okay. But make sure your English is good. Okay. Commanding English. Because once you command English, you command the AI models. How many AI models now out there? A lot. Okay. ChatGPT, Claude, Mistral, a lot. What are their common things? Everyone needs the prompt to tell them to do things. They could write programs for you. They could write an investment plan for you. They could write your essay for you. They could write a research paper for you. But you need to tell them specific instruction. How can the model help you to write this essay? So that's prompt engineering. Got that? That is liberal arts. That is commanding English, right? A little word or little phrase different. The AI model will chunk out different result. So try that. You could try that in different models. Just in my cell phone, I have 3 AI models. I have ChatGPT, I have the Google Gemini, I have the Copilot. I have the, believe it or not, TikTok has a GPT model called GAUTH Golf. Okay, you could try that out. So more and more AI models will come online. But everything in common is they need good commanding of English to tell them what can they help you.
Yeah, I agree.
Question.
And thanks for sharing the points related to prompt engineering. In my class last week, we went through all the different AI job opportunities out there, but definitely I have encouraged my students in my class, and I encourage you all here, it's okay to not trust the future of AI, but you've got to look at it for what it is. It's a growth industry, and you want to be in the right place at the right time. So a lot of you really need to think about careers that support or supplement or is related to AI. And I agree with Simon in a content, it's still a content intensive economy. It's still about creativity, bottom line. How you get there, whether it's AI, sculpting, drawing, whatever, whether it's synthetic derived, human derived, bottom line is you want to be in the right place, right time. Now, Simon, there is an important question I want to have, and then I'm going to go to questions. You decided to go to graduate school. And this is definitely related to the theme of what you're saying of continuous learning, continuous curiosity. Maybe you want to share with some of the students like your thought process in why you went to graduate school. I have one student that wants potentially do an MBA or to go into business or to go into grad school. So, you know, could you talk a little bit about the value of that? Because my concern is enrollment is down across the board of people going to college, and enrollment in graduate school is down. And I feel in a knowledge intensive economy, that is just the worst thing for someone to do, is to not consider bettering themselves. So why did you better yourself for graduate school?
I just try to be consistent as human beings. I tell my kids, knowledge is everything. Knowledge is power. Okay, so how can I stop acquiring knowledge even though I'm getting old? All right, I'm just follow through on my teaching to my kids. And I want to be curious. I want to learn things and keep learning. Seriously, if the next stop is my PhD, not this year, but a couple of years from now, I will take my PhD. So, I mean, just as life needs to be curious to make it more colorful in my journey, and hopefully in yours too. So, to put more color in your journey, you want to see people, you want to go to places, you want to know things, you want to see why things happen the way it is, okay, or it will be. So just being consistent. And one more thing I may want to want to add is health is treasure. Okay, be healthy. Okay, be healthy, because when you're getting older and older, yes, there's a lot of problem from your body, but be healthy. Keep your cardio exercise every day, half an hour every day. Seriously, keep your cardiovascular exercise. Eat well. Yeah, it will pay off, because every one of us will live over 80 years old. But how do you live over 80 years old? That's a different thing. So
we need to prompt that AI to give me a pill. I told you, I need a pill to be young forever.
Yeah, you can take a pill, or you could, just making exercise or drinking water as your habit. Okay, a healthy habit. Stay away a lot from alcohol. I know college is unavoidable, but just keep it down, keep it reasonable. It will serve you a long way, seriously, if you serve you a long way.
I think it's great that you're saying this, because my father used to always talk about healthy routines, but that investing is a healthy habit. He's like, if you invest from when you're young to you're old, it's a healthy habit.
Yes,
although, not everybody does what's healthy, but at least investing can be, right?
You need financial health, and you need physical health to enjoy your financial health. Okay, if you don't have your physical health, I mean, it's very regrettable. You will not be happy.
I agree, Simon. So I know we have some questions, and I want to be respectful of people's times. I know you have one. Were there any questions in the back that we missed earlier? No? Okay, great. Yeah, go ahead.
I just have a question. So I know in the streaming industry, I know there's a lot of competition there with like Netflix and Disney Plus, and I know it's a pretty crazy battle in that specific industry. I have a question about AI, especially with like ChatGPT and all these other like machines. Is it going to look like that, similar to the streaming industry, with all these other industries fighting for their lives, or is it going to look a little bit differently?
Could you hear the question, Simon?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I think of that. It's already happening. There's a lot of AI models out there. Okay, everyone every big company, if they could afford it, even countries, okay, believe it or not, United Emirates has their own AI model as well, okay, as a country, not as a company. So a lot of AI model, new AI model is going to come online in the coming years. They're competing your attention, they're competing your usage, like the streaming industry as well. You can see a lot of like Netflix, of course, Amazon, Disney, okay. But the difference between streaming industries and AI is AI models needs data to learn, meaning what data they learn is what they could chunk out or they could generate, okay? So it depends on the data, all right? Streaming industries depends on the creativities of the producers, the directors, okay? So there's a difference, and also geographical location as well. Streamings or programs or movies from India is very different than United States, very different than UK or even Europe, Italy. Okay, they're very localizations, okay, to attract your eyeballs. Okay, is it universal enough? I would say 70-30. 30% is general, 70% is specific, okay, to that culture in terms of streaming. Okay, and so as AI models, they will come out a lot of competitions, but the background is what data they learn. Okay, like ChatGPT, you know where they get their data? They got the data from between 2000 to 2018 for the last 18 years, everything on the internet. Okay, so that what does it tell you? That means whatever is not on the internet, they cannot learn it because there's no data for it. All right.
That's right.
So to answer your questions, yes, there will be a lot of different language model comes out. Okay, there will be a lot of competitions. Every one of them try to monetize it. Okay, try to get your money, get your subscriptions, $20, $30. But which one is the best? I don't know yet. And a lot of them are free. Even are you using WhatsApp?
Me? What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In WhatsApp, there is a AI model. You know that?
Yeah, I actually saw that. Is it the
Yeah, you could just ask. You could ask the same thing. You could ask it to rewrite your essay for you. Same thing. So same thing as ChatGPT. Okay, because Mike Zuckerberg know he doesn't have the technology like Gemini, like Microsoft. Okay, so he offer it for free. Right? How can you beat that? I don't know, but I use it. It works okay. It works okay. It's not as good as ChatGPT in a way, but it works okay. It's the data are very recent. Okay, if you ask, I'm sorry, what would you say?
As free AI chats.
He said also social media has free AI chats. Like LinkedIn has that correction of your message, or Facebook has correction of your message.
Yeah. So now next thing, what is next thing? When a lot of offerings, next thing is branding, customer loyalty. How is your brand comes out? Okay, how is your customer loyalty could monetize your product? It's just marketing thing. That's the next level.
Yep.
Because when you see a
And it's
lot
coming
of
too. That stuff's coming too.
when you see a lot of same things happening, you don't know which one is the best. So you trust the brand because we're human. Okay. We trust the most we thought is trustworthy brand. That's it.
Yeah, agreed. One point I want to add that we didn't talk a lot about is NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Like, given you all are at a liberal arts school, you know, I think all of you should definitely keep an eye on the expression of tokens as artistic design and the money-making opportunity that NFTs could present to a lot of you that have these unique skills. So we didn't talk a lot about that today. We will get into my class tonight about NFTs, but I definitely would encourage a lot of you to take a look at that, because a lot of artists used NFTs as freedom of expression to get their art out there and literally on the, you know, the blockchain make money. So I think a lot of you that is another opportunity. And I think that for me, a lot of this conversation, and I think, Simon, you hit it on the head of having healthy habits. I think having a healthy working philosophy of that you're not just looking for a job for an employer to hire you, but also you're looking for opportunities to invest. You're looking for opportunities to participate in growth industries. These are the people that are going to be leading the way, making the world better. I think the day of a pension and a company taking care of you for 30 years has been gone, right? I know it sounds nice, but that's just not the way even the world works nowadays. Simon, if any of the students want to get in contact with you, I know you shared some links in the chat, but is there any preferred method if they want to reach out and talk with you?
Now, here's my LinkedIn profile, and also here's my email, Simon N, 2 N's at Gmail. I think it's simple enough.
Yeah, 100%. And Simon, thanks for joining. Hey man, you're making the world a better place, sharing your philosophies on investment, and you know, your optimism is commendable. So you know, I look forward to seeing you back in the Bay. We'll catch up.
Sure,
But,
yeah.
I really appreciate you participating today.
You're welcome.
Okay, to those of you, the Obies, we're trying to make the world a better place 1 week at a time. We are down now to the last 3 of the speaker series. We have a venture capitalist coming up. We have an impact investor coming up. And then I will be rounding out the last of the guests, where Ted will be interviewing me about my own entrepreneurial experiences and the battle for existence. And I really hope that you enjoyed this. Tell your friends. Word of mouth is the key currency for us. And let's go out there and make the world better. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Simon. Hey, Simon, I'm glad old habits don't die hard. I mean, I'm glad you're on that chat using it. You know, I always had everybody being pretty interactive, so I'm glad you're doing that.
Great, great. Nice to meet every one of you. And hopefully I could see you in either Ohio or in the Bay Area. If you come to San Francisco, yeah, email me. And yeah, I bring you around. I'll show you around.
He knows good dim sum, guys. He knows really good dim sum. Don't forget. Right, Simon? We went to that one place.
Oh yes, that's just several. There's several of them. Just yeah, email me or whatever. Get a hold of me, and yeah, I could be a good tour guide as well.
Right.
Oh, if you like swimming, I swim in the bay. You could try it. It's cold.
Yeah, he bay swims.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a healthy habit to another whole level, Simon. If you try to get me to do that, I don't know, man. That's
wait,
I don't know if that's in my good health.
next level is the channel is British Channel. I want to try someday British Channel swimming.
It's good to have hobbies, right?
Yep, yep.
Okay, Simon, you take care, my friend.
All right, take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.